live. All righty. You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Las Vegas Raiders. And why are the Raiders 0-16? Because they suck. Man, that's something. It just never gets old. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free to throw it in the chat box. You should try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But also, instead of me just like rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free and fire away. Before we get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the top link in the description box, I got takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one, membership level I got, is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you're subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if you're not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. And then finally, a little farther down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one is a Facebook link. I'll get to that in just a second. Then the second one, it's a Twitter. It's been Twitter. It's Twitter today. It'll be Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 7 trillion years from now. It's Twitter. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it this week, no, that's on him. It's not what I'm going to call it. It's Twitter. If you follow me on, I try to put stuff in my Twitter account every day. So, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I will follow you back. That's an absolute promise. And then finally, also, there's that other link. It's a Facebook link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants Gridiron. We have over 6,900 members in the group. It's doing very well, might I add. I'm putting stuff in here every day. If I'm alive and breathing, if I have internet access, there's stuff going in there. Darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in here, but members post stuff in here as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in that group every day. New York Giants, the Gridiron. Please join the group, become a member. You won't be dissatisfied. All right, well, all stuff said and done that way. Well, Patty Trainer from Locked On Giants, she was talking the other I guess it had to be Friday. It had to be Friday, I guess it was. And she was bringing up the fact that, the Giants only had, like a little over $1 million. And actually, she was talking about, I think she was talking about it today, too, as well, in her video. She doesn't she did it at late last night. So it comes out. So I watched it today, but she was mentioning in a video that she put out late last night, meaning like Sunday night, like whatever, 6 hours or whatever after the Giants lost. She mentioned, I think she said like the Giants only have $500,000 or so left. So, I mean, and then, look at it, they have $500,000 off. Well, thankfully, Daniel Jones is cleared. Okay, so we might have Daniel Jones going against the Raiders. But, just simply going in, I mean, I only have about $500,000 left. That ain't going to get you. I mean, you have half the season left to go. Actually, we got more than half the season. We still got 9 games to go. You only played 8, we got 9 to go. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but, they only have $500,000 left, according to what Patty Trainer was mentioning. Now, I looked at over the cap now, and I'm not sure how they, if it's changed at all, whatever. But right now, I looked at it last week. They were at like 1.394 somewhere around there. Now they're at $1.831 million, baby. But that's and now, of course, with over the cap, Leonard Williams is not there. All right, he's gone, obviously. Now you don't know right now what the savings will be for Leonard Williams. Now you could kind of figure it out. Like basically his salary is like $18 million base salary is about $18 million. You chop that down and I think that's like 17 payments. So he's making, just say like $1 million a week. Just say, okay. 9 weeks left. That's $9 million. I mean, give or take. You know what I'm saying? It should be very, very close. So that would be about $9 million the Giants would be saving. But now the thing is, you're not sure, did the Giants have to bite the bullet on some of that? I mean, we do know the Seahawks do like to, dish away some of the draft picks, right, from time to time to get a good player. So, I mean, I'm sure they're going to work their rear ends off to maybe just sign Leonard Williams after the season. I mean, you're going to give up a 2nd round pick and a 5th round pick for him and just let him go after the season's over. But I said, you don't know, what the savings will be. This would be just stone cold crazy. Did the Seahawks pick up his whole salary for the rest of the season and give the Giants a 2nd and a 5th? Woo! Wow, that's I'm fine with that. Or did the Giants have to maybe pay half of it or whatever? Because it could also be like something like hey, it's a trade, right? The Seahawks can go, we'll give you a 2nd and a 5th, but you got to take up, I'm just throwing, you got to take up 2/3 of his salary or half of his salary, something like that. We'll give you a 2nd or something, whatever. Right. So we'll have to see in the coming days to see exactly what the savings are. But, even if the Giants have to bite half the bullet on it, they're just going to save maybe $4 or $5 million. This will get them $5-6 million, hopefully, maybe at least just with this one trade. That should hopefully get them through the rest of the season. Now, I mean, I don't know if the Giants plan on being buyers, at the before the trade deadline, which is 4:00 tomorrow. So there's still about 17 hours left to go. Anything's possible. A lot of teams are trying to unload. So the Giants going to be maybe bring somebody in. I mean, here now they got a couple extra. One draft pick. The 2nd round, I think, is for next season. There's an article I'll go over, and then I think the 5th rounder is in 2025. So now, as of right now, they're back up to their 7 draft picks, which is cool. There's another article a little snippet I want to go over. I'm going to go over too about Adoree Jackson, what maybe might add another draft pick or so, but whatever. But as of right now, the Giants are back up to 7 draft picks for next year. But I mean, they got a 1st and they got 2 seconds. It's 3D coming at you. 2 seconds. So, and then of course you figure also look at it too. Well, you got to look at the Seahawks. They're 2nd. So at the rate that they're going, I'll be a back end 2nd. You know what I mean? So out of the 32 picks in the 2nd round, they'll be probably pick number 20 on back. But hey, so you figure 20 on back, so they'll be pick like number 52, 53, 54, 55, somewhere around there. But hey, if the Giants get 3 picks in the top 55, I mean, then you figure if they got if you don't know. Long season, long way left to go. But you look at it too. If their 3rd round pick is a top 10 pick, I mean, they'll have maybe, I don't know what, 4 guys in the top 75 in the draft. I mean, that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad. We certainly have some players to build around without question. We're letting some guys go, so we're going to need to start replenishing them. But we can get 4 guys next year in the draft in the top 75. Okay, sign me up for that. That should be 4 I certainly don't want to say plug and play players, but those are, if you get 4 in the top 75 or 80 in next year's draft, I mean, those 4 guys, they should be guys that either start right away or should be starting somewhere in the first year or two. Those should be guys that you can hopefully build around. So that would be, that wouldn't be bad. You figure, especially if you figure you have 22 guys for the most part, right, on the field, offense and defense. If you got 4 guys that you should be able to put in, that's like, one out of that's 1/5, a little more, a little less than 1/5 of your team. So that's not bad. So let's hope. But I mean, got to give Shane some credit there. I said something had to be done, and basically what he did not want to do. I mean, because it became apparent. I mean, I guess it was kind of apparent that Leonard Williams was not coming back next season, right? I mean, unless he wanted to come back for like $5 million, $6, $7, $8 million, whatever a season, probably was not going to be happening, right? So the Giants are getting rid of those big $32 million or whatever it was, that contract. Oh my God, getting rid of that, and they didn't want to really kick any money down the road, right? So they're trying to get rid of I guess the Leonard Williams contract. Right, Kenny Golladay, all his dead money this season, getting rid of that, right? Now we have another draft pick. Now we got somehow. You got to give the man some credit. I mean, you can complain and this and that and all blah 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 blah, whatever you want, but we gave up a 3rd and a 5th, basically 4 years ago. It was 5 seasons ago, but actually it's been 4, because by halfway through the 19 season. So he's been from halfway through 19 to 20, halfway to 20 to 21, halfway of this 21 season, then halfway to 22 season, halfway to 22 season to halfway to. So he's been basically 4 full seasons with the Giants, but it was like 5 seasons ago when we got him in 2019. But I mean, so basically in 2019, we gave a 3rd and a 5th to get him. Right. And we used him for like 4 full seasons. He missed some time last year and all, but, so we got, some good quality time out of him. And now in return, we're getting back a 2nd and a 5th. Wow. Okay. All right. Sign me up for that. But you got to, whether you liked his output or his production or whatever, he had that one real good season, obviously. Seemed like it when it was also a contract year. He kind of balled out and had a lot of sacks and everything. But one thing you got to give him is the man came to play. Now, whether you liked his production, thought it wasn't good enough, wasn't whatever, the man came to play. The man was always available. He did miss some time last season. He had the neck injury. It is what it is. But he came back. He played. He was in there all the time. I mean, he didn't play 100% of the snaps, but he was in there every week, right? Mr. Reliable, he gives you good effort. I mean, he's not what he used to be. He's just not. I mean, the man's played a lot of snaps over his career, a lot of snaps, and he's just not the same. But it's a shame. You always hate seeing. I mean, it's when you got a guy, especially on a team for quite a few years, he's a good player, and you just let don't let him go. But he goes to another team. But once again, it's a business. It's football, and I wish him nothing but the best. Tell you what, when the playoffs start, hopefully the Seahawks are in there. I'm pulling for Leonard Williams. I mean, I'm not much of a Pete Carroll guy. Pete Carroll's a great coach, without question. Seahawks, nice team and all that. I'm not much of a Seahawk guy, not much of a Pete Carroll guy, but I'm a Leonard Williams guy. So tell you what, if he makes it to the playoffs, I'm pulling for Leonard Williams. So I wish him nothing but the absolute best, because he was an absolute class act guy, especially while I was here. And the bond that him and Sexy Dexy had was pretty special. I mean, it's a shame because you had one guy that was like on his way down and the other guy was on his way up in their careers. I'm saying? It wasn't like, they were both in their 4th season, or one was in his 4th, and like we got Sexy Dexy in the 2018 draft, 2019, and Leonard Williams was in the 2020 draft, and we got a 4th-year guy and a 5th-year guy. They're both in their primes, just dominating. I mean, it wasn't like that. One guy was ascending and the other guy was, coming down. But once again, he's just a class act guy, somebody you can certainly vote for, and without question. if the Seahawks make the playoffs, I'll be pulling for the Seahawks just because of Leonard Williams. So I mean, he ain't listening to this, but thank you, Leonard. You're a great guy. Great. I mean, as I said, you tried. Now, whether you're worth $30 million or not this season is a different story, but thank you, Leonard. You're a class act human being. I'm glad you were a Giant, even if it was only for a few years, right? So thank you, Leonard. But that brings me to my next point, is that I seen this here. Who was it? Who is this? From Jordan Renan. Now, this was he came out, I don't know what this was. It was quite a few hours ago. But it says the Bills are trading with the Giants for cornerback Adoree Jackson per sources. But this is from Jordan Renan. Giants are again taking on all of the remaining money owed to Jackson this year. So let's see, what does he owe? I mean, so maybe they took on almost all of Leonard Williams. I'm not exactly sure, to be honest with you, because I mean, as of right now, they have 1.8. They had a little over a couple of days ago, like just not a little under 1.4 million. Now they have a little bit over 1.8. So I'm not exactly sure, if they took on all Leonard Williams. We'll have to find that out as time goes by. We're not exactly sure, but Adoree Jackson, his base salary, this is $11 million. So if you break that down, he gets like $600,000 or so, whatever it is, per game, somewhere around there, without me pulling out a calculator. Now, let's see. If it's 600,000 times what? 9, so that's $5.4 million or so. So I don't know. According to Jordan Renan, I mean, this guy's pretty reliable. Says again, are taking on all of the remaining money owed to Jackson this season. So I don't know. Once again, even if this is true, who knows? Right? You don't know for sure. But if they're taking on all the money, hopefully they'll be getting a good draft pick in return, right? Or two, or whatever it might wind up being. So I'll have to wait and see. But I do know some of the. It goes kind of both ways, because the Giants only had 6 draft picks. If you're not going to have the guys around next season, I guess try to get rid of them. Try to get somebody in return for them. Interesting, you don't know this, you don't know, and you'll probably never know. If the Giants won and they were 3-5 and they looked pretty good, would things have changed? The Giants were going to have to do something, because they didn't have enough money, regardless, to finish the rest of the season out. And that didn't happen. So, because of all the injuries they have, so they were going to have to do something. Now, would they have traded, Leonard Williams and maybe Adoree Jackson? Nothing's final, but I did see that from Jordan Renan, and as I said, he brought that up, and it just says the bill. He says here. From Jordan Renan, the Bills are trading with the Giants for cornerback Adoree Jackson. Once again here, per sources. So I don't know who his sources are. I don't know who the frick is calling Jordan Renan up. Yo, Jordan, man, we're making a trade here. I mean, I'm not sure why anybody would be calling Jordan Renan to let him know. Ain't none of his frickin' business. But the Giants should get some nice draft picks from. Or at least a good draft pick. It maybe 2, maybe 1 this year. I don't know what they would wind up getting. But you figure if they're taking on all the money that he's owed, maybe they're saving some money with the Leonard Williams. And then but now they're eating all the money with the Adoree Jackson. But if they're going to eat all the money from the Adoree Jackson, they should get a better draft pick or 2. So instead of, I'm just throwing stuff out there, instead of a 4th and I don't know, or maybe a 5th and a 7th. For Adoree Jackson, I'm just saying, maybe they'll get a 4th and a 6th for him. Just saying. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I would be. So if we can get 1 for next season and another draft pick like we did with the Leonard Williams, 1 for next season, 1 for the following season, cool. So that way, if we can get 1 for next season, we'll be up to 8 picks. Okay, that's cool. And then if we get another 1 for the following season, we'll be up to, I guess we'll be at 9. So that wouldn't be bad. And not including if we maybe have any compensatory picks coming on. But that you don't know. But there's a possibility that Adoree Jackson might be going as well, too. Because, I mean, yeah, it does. Yeah. The Giants have some money. Let's see. What do they got here? According over the cap. Next season, the Giants, as of right now, have about $48.5 million. Okay. But that's no Saquon. That's no Adoree Jackson. That's no Xavier McKinney. There's no Leonard Williams. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So that's no draft class signed or nothing like that. Then, of course, that you might want to obviously bring in a free agent here or there. And then you got to have some money going into the season and all that stuff. So $48.5 million, that ain't a whole chunk of change. That's not going to get him. Oh, sorry. Oh, my dog. Oh, jeez. My dog's laying at my feet. Sometimes I just got to stretch my feet, and I got to stretch my legs, and I don't want to interrupt him while he's trying to take a nap. But so the Giants with like the $48.5 million according to over cap right now. I mean, so that's not a ton of money. As I said, you figure, we're going to bring Saquon back. Right. I mean, he's not coming back for $8 million, and we're going to need 10, 12 million. I mean, if we franchise tag him again, that's another 12 million guaranteed. That comes right off the top. Right. So I said, we're going to bring back Xavier McKinney. Don't know. We're going to maybe get somebody in the draft. It'll be a lot cheaper. So that you don't know too. So, I mean, the Giants have some money, but they don't have a ton of money. But, this was very, very, very important. I mean, for the Giants, especially, I guess to get somebody in return or some maybe draft picks in return for guys that maybe you're not going to have keep it on the team for next season. So I guess the Giants are trying to, get rid of some of those higher salaries, bringing some of their own guys. And right. Yeah. I mean, we brought in Dante Banks. He's just as capable as Adoree Jackson is. So we replace him, but the problem is now, who's going to be the other cornerback? Are we rolling with Trey Hawkins? We want to try to get somebody else, so I'll have to wait and see. So we got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of decisions going on, because as I said, we've been we're rebuilding here. Right. And, so this is only season 2. Next year, especially we have a few high draft picks next season, that's going to help. Another draft after that should help. So you figure another couple of seasons, and hopefully, we should be doing pretty good. We have to get our quarterback situations straightened out. Not sure what's going on there with Daniel Jones, if he's the man or not, but that's another story for another day. But let's go to the let's see. I just want to read this over here real fast from Leo the Lion, my man, Pots and Pans. The Giants traded him to Seahawks for a second-round pick next season and a fifth-rounder in 2025, and are reportedly taking on the majority of the $10 million still owed to him. So that's on Instagram. Williams thanked the Giants and their fans. Yeah, he's classy dude, man. Nothing but the best to you, brother. Wish you nothing but the best. Anyway, this was really not classy. I'm very classy. It's been an honor to be a part of the Giants organization and everything it stands for. This place will always have a special place in my heart, Williams wrote. Thank you to all the coaches, the staff, my teammates, and fans that have supported me through my career here. New York has been real. Now it's time to continue my career back in the West Coast, because he came from USC. So he's going back home. In the USC was in the southern west, but now he's in the northwest. But he's out the west anyway. So now it's time to continue my career back in the West Coast. Seattle, here we come. Go Hawks. So the Giants are taking on the majority of the money. So that kind of tells you that's probably why they got a second-round pick. If it was like if Seattle was going to take on half and the Giants had to take on half or whatever it was, the Giants might get a third rounder, maybe a fourth rounder from him. It might have been, well, if you want us to pay his whole salary, we'll give you a fourth and a sixth or something along those lines. But if you're going to take on a majority of the salary, we'll throw you a second and a fifth. So basically, the Giants paid to get a better draft pick. And I'll tell you what, in the long, that may not be a bad idea. That may not be a bad, for them to save a few $1 million now and get a fourth rounder for them instead of biting the bullet this season and next season you get a second round pick. Wow, how the hell did that happen? I mean, my goodness, we had to give out a third for him. We used them and abused them and all that for all these years, and now we're getting a second round in return. Wow, holy cow! So I mean, Giants basically bought themselves a good draft pick. So now we got a first and we got 2 seconds. So for next season, so that's some good building block material. And unfortunately, as I was saying earlier in this video, I said if we wind up, being crappy, having a horrible record, right? You just figure, our third round pick was 32 and 32 is 64. Say we're in the top 10, we might have 4 picks in the top 75. So those are 4 guys that maybe not plug and play right off the bat, but out of those 4 guys, 1 or 2 got to be plug and play, and the other 1 or 2, got to be going to be starters within the first year or so, or what 2, so we could have some 4 good players coming up next season for the Giants. So once, as I said, that's basically almost not quite 1/5 of your team now. So that's a nice solid, right? And then you figure if you got those 4, and then you figure if the next year, right, if you get another 1 or 2 good high picks, you're looking at 5, 6, 7 guys that you can get in, like almost like a third of your team. Then the next 2 draft picks should be guys that should go in there and be contributors. So as I said, it's unfortunately we're not where we want to be, and unfortunately it's going to take a little bit of time, and fortunately it really stinks because we've been waiting for quite a few years now, but hopefully we're in the right direction. I guess in Shane you trust. I mean, Shane's been doing a great job. Regardless, he's been doing a really good job. He's not been the one on the field making the calls. He's not responsible for every other player, another Giant player getting hurt. He's not responsible that we're on our 312th starting quarterback. I mean, he's not responsible. The Giants, I guess, the 8th starting offensive line that they've had. He's not responsible for that. He's not responsible that Andrew Thomas pulled his hamstring basically 32 seconds into the season, and he's about out ever since. I mean, he's been supplying, he's been getting guys, bringing guys in, and it's, so he's been doing a good job. He has been doing a good job. He does need to obviously make some decisions. The big one is Daniel Jones going forward. The decisions to make there, but we can get out after one more season with Daniel Jones. So, all right. So we got my pretty much my favorite time of the week here. All right, here we go. It just goes to show you how much love or lack thereof the New York Football Giants get from PFF. All right, but let's start with the defense. Let's start off on a happy occasion, shall we? Let's go Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau. I think the only time I've ever seen the Giants have 2 guys, I believe, who got over at 90 on defense at the same week. And that would be the sexy one, okay? And, of course, Kayvon. Two guys that just straight out balled out this weekend. Had 2 fantastic games. I mean, Dexter Lawrence. I mean, of course, I think the Jets were on their 312 string center. But, man, he just ate them alive. He had 15 total pressures. The Giants, according to PFF, had 31 total pressures in this one game. I mean, wow. I mean, it was, of course, they had 31 pressures because we had no offense. right? I mean, if our offense, we had an offense that could get the ball and get sustained drives and first downs and actually complete some passes and stuff, we wouldn't have 31 pressures because the defense would be on the sideline, offense would be on the field. But since the offense every time got the ball, 1, 2, 3, punt, right? The defense kept running onto the field all the time. But we had 31 pressures. 31. Another fantastic job for the defense did fantastic. But Dexter Lawrence graded out at 95. Holy cow. 10 hurries, 4 hits, and a sack. Wow. Holy cow. And then, of course, Kayvon graded out at a 91. So we had a 95 and a 91. I don't remember seeing that before in the past since I've been doing this, my channel. I think this is like the 3rd season I've been doing this. So I don't remember seeing two. I mean, I certainly could be wrong, but I don't remember seeing 2 defensive players being over 90 on the same week for the Giants. Kayvon was a 91. He had 3 total pressures. He had this 3 sacks. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Bobby Okereke, another good game. What was he at? Well, he got 8 here. I mean, it's different. I mean, I thought he had 9. He was accredited with 9 tackles. Here, PFF gives him 8. It is what it is. But he graded out a 76.9. Boogie Basham was in there for 5 snaps. He graded out a 76.1. Jason Pinnock, he graded out a 75.5. Now, he had a missed tackle, and that's what brings this down. And I think the one tackle might quite possibly be been on Breece Hall's touchdown. I think if I remember, I think he tried to shoulder him or something. I think it might have been him instead of maybe wrapping up. So Jason Pinnock, he missed the tackle. Now, also, I seen on Facebook a few days ago, of course, I guess they almost kind of seemed like it kind of jinxed them, but it said that Jason Pinnock had not missed a tackle, I think, since week 3. So what happens there in week 8? He misses a tackle. It is what it is. But he had a good game at 75.5. Isaiah Simmons had a good game, 74.5. Cordell Flott, he played for 37 snaps, graded at 73.3. Leonard Williams, last game as a Giant, 52 snaps, he graded at 69.4. Oshane Ximines, the X-Man, 7 snaps he got in there, graded out of 68.4. Nick McLeod was in there for 14 snaps, 66.1. Sean Robinson was in there for 30 snaps, graded out of 65.1. DJ Davidson was in there for 7 snaps, 63.1. Micah McFadden, now his run defense was very, very good. His coverage grade was wow. His coverage grade, what was it? Targets, receptions. I don't know, man. He was targeted 4 times and he gave up 1 reception for 19 yards, and his coverage grade was a 30.7. His tackle was 39.7, so he missed a tackle. So that hurt his grade quite a bit. But his run defense was an 83.9. So his run defense has really been good. Let's see. His run defense over the past, let's see here. Micah McFadden is let's see. I mean, you look at his run defense, the past 3 grades, 83.9, 78.3, and 87.1. So he's starting to come on. He's really starting to come on. Let's see. Nacho was in there for 13 snaps. He graded out 55.7. Xavier McKinney was in there for 64 snaps. He graded out 55.5. Dane Belton was just in there for 5 snaps, 2.8. Adoree Jackson, 50 snaps, 52.4. Let's see. Deonte Banks, 49.9. He got picked on a lot. He got picked on I mean, yeah, he gave up 100 yards receiving, according to PFF. He gave up 7 receptions. He got targeted 13 times. So basically, the completion percentage was a 53.8, which is very respectable. Let's see. And Hottie was in there for 52 snaps. He graded out 48.6 because basically he's taken over for Azeez Ojulari. Now, when Azeez was going to come back, who knows? Anybody knows. And when Azeez does come back, how many games will he stay healthy? Nobody knows once again. And that's another thing the Giants are going to need without question. Got to get another edge rusher, at least one, maybe two, because I can't possibly see them keeping Azeez Ojulari around after next season. Just can't see it. Guy can't stay healthy. I mean, well, yeah, I don't mean nothing horrible, and I feel bad for him because you come back from injuries and you work your butt off to get back on the field and blah, 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 all that stuff. And he's a great guy, great locker room guy, positive, all that stuff. So you feel bad for him. But, I mean, I can't see him possibly wanting to hold on to him because he can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy. Can't stay healthy. He can't play more than like 1 or 2 games without getting injured. So the Giants got Kayvon. They got to get at least another edge rusher, and then they got to get something. If you get 3, the Giants don't have 3. They don't. I mean, when they have Azeez, they have 2. When Azeez, they have Kayvon. They have no other edge rusher. Nobody else. So you usually, if you see these other good teams like the Jets, the Eagles, the Cowboys and stuff, they can rotate in edge rushers and defense guys can get pressure and all that. Giants can't do that. Giants got to get stronger up front, and they got to get some edge rushers. So we still got a lot of pieces left to get. But as I said, getting that second-round pick could be huge. That second-round pick from the Seahawks, that could be a good defensive lineman. Maybe somebody to take Leonard Williams' spot. That could be a decent edge rusher. Maybe not a Hall of Famer, but it may be somebody who can give you some good quality reps at the, like Azeez, right? He was second-round pick. But the reason why, because he had some injuries or what, concerns, shall we say. And I think that's the reason why he fell to the Giants where he did. All right, so let's see here. So now the offensive grade. I'll tell you what, boy, got to give it Mark Lewinsky. Man, he's becoming a beast. I'm telling you what. I don't know. I don't know. Right? It's going to be interesting to see. This is another one of those moves. It's going to be interesting to see. After the season, we can get rid of Mark Lewinsky. Do we really want to? I don't know. He graded out of 81. His run blocking was a 79.4. His pass blocking was 55.7, but he graded out 81 overall. But if you look, this was his best graded game. Last week, he was graded out of 73.1. He's just, so I don't know. He got benched for a game, and ever since then, he's really starting to turn it around. And I'll tell you what, 81.0 he graded out at. Very impressive. Marcus McKeithen only played in 6 snaps. He graded out of 73.4. Paris Campbell was in there for 3 snaps. I don't even know why do you even bring this guy and you never play him at all? He was in there for 3 snaps, graded out of 60. Saquon Barkley graded out of 58.2. Justin Pugh graded out 55.8. John Michael Schmitz, his first game back, played all the snaps, all 75 of them, 55.5. Don't worry, better games are ahead for him. Isaiah Hodgins, it was good to see him. He had 48 snaps, 54.8. Jalen Hyatt was in there for 25. He graded 54.3. Wan'Dale Robinson was in there for 60 snaps, 51.9. Tyrod Taylor was only in there for 25 snaps, 51.3. Matt Breida was in there for 8 snaps, graded out of 50.1. Tommy DeVito was in there for 50 snaps, 46.5. Darius Slayton was in there for 74 snaps. Apparently, he just missed 1 snap. Let's see here. 70, he graded out of 46. Jaelan Phillips was in there for all 75 snaps. He graded out of 46. Darren Waller was just in there for 17 snaps. He graded out of 44.2. Ben Bredesen, 75 snaps, 43.4. And Daniel Bellinger was in there for 67 snaps, graded out of 35. So his pass blocking was a 0. So unfortunately, with Daniel Bellinger, you like to keep him in, so to speak, right? To be a blocker, right? But it was, he had a hard, rough game. But his pass blocking rate was a 0. All right. Okay, coming up. Here we go. This is my favorite. This one I like. There's 13 categories PFF grades the teams by, and usually the Giants are last in like 5 of them. Let's see how many they're last in again. I'll bet you it's at least 5. I haven't looked, but after their crap showing yesterday, they got to be number 32 in at least 5 of these. So let's see. I know the overall the team grade they're going to be last, guaranteed here. So let's go. All right, overall, who's number 1? Miami's number 1 at 93. Giants are number 32 at 56.6. Offensive grades. So the Giants are last in number one in the categories. Miami's 86.5. Offensive grade, the Giants are number 32, 54.9. So they're last in 2 categories. Passing grade. Let's see here. Dolphins number 1, 89.2. Giants are, let's see, passing. Giants are number 23, 60.9. Okay, pass blocking. There you go. Tampa Bay's number 1, 78.7. And the Giants are number 32. 34.6 is our pass blocking grade as a team. And the Giants are so bad. How bad are they? Giants are so bad. They're the only ones in the 30s. The next worst team is the Pittsburgh Steelers at 43.2. Giants are 34.6. So the Giants are now number 32 in 3 categories. Okay, receiving grades. 49ers are number 1, 87.9. And the Giants are number 32. 61.6. So now the Giants are number 32 in 4 categories. All right, let's go to running grade. The Dolphins are number 1, 93.4. And the Giants are number 23, 67.8. Okay, so the next one here, run blocking. Eagles, 74.3. That's because they got that good offensive line. The Giants, number 32. So now the Giants are number 5 out of what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 7 categories, the Giants are graded, according to PFF, but number 32, the worst in the league in 5 out of 7 categories. Giants is 43.4 is their run blocking grade. Unbelievable. Defense, well, the Giants ain't going to be last in this, that's for sure. 49ers are number 1, 86.7. And let's see here. The Giants are number 25, 64.4. I still find that really hard to believe. I mean, the Giants defense really graded that bad? Yeah. I mean, we gave up 14 points to Buffalo, 13 in overtime to the Jets, and 7. So what is that? 13, 7, what is that? 20. We gave up 34 points in the bad. Yeah, we're still that bad. Yeah. Once again, no love for the Giants at PFF. Run defense, the Dolphins are number 1. Jeez, yeah, 76.9. All right, well, let's see here. What do we got? The Giants run defense. The Giants run defense is number 22, 59.6. All right, then tackling. Tampa Bay, number 1, 73.5. The Giants tackling grade. That's not going to be super spectacular here. Yes, we were a very good tackling team last year. The Giants are number 21, 54.7. But last year, the Giants were a much better tackling team than they are this year. Pass rush, the 49ers number 1, 90.1. Giants are number 9, 76. Pass rush of 76, number 9. Cool. Coverage grade. Baltimore Ravens number 1, 90.8. The Giants' coverage grade is 25, 58.5. And special teams. The Saints are still number 1. I think they've been number 1 all season long. Let's see here. Giants' special teams are number 31. We're at 60.6. So the Giants, out of the 13 categories, are in last in 5 of the 13. So absolutely unbelievably horrible. But it is what it is. So another disappointing week for the New York Football Giants. Daniel Jones is back. We might get Andrew Thomas back next week too. Maybe. That would be huge. It's a winnable game against the Raiders. Sometimes maybe just to get out of Dodge like they did against the Cardinals. Maybe things will start clicking. Maybe. If we get Evan Neal back, Michael Schmitz, and Andrew, if Glowinski starts doing decent once again, got Pugh in there or something, right? Maybe the offensive line got a healthy Saquon. You don't know about Darren Waller. Obviously, we're going to have to bring probably Cager up. We got Bellinger, but missing Waller is unfortunately well, it doesn't mean he's out. Doesn't mean he's out, but if I'm sure he would love to go up against his former team. I'm sure he would love to, and just to tear him up. But it is what it is. But I mean, if Waller's not available, I don't know what the Giants are going to have Cager and Bellinger, and that's it. We'll have to wait and see. But it's a winnable game. Certainly a winnable game. But then, of course, the following week after that, we got to play the Cowboys. And oh my God. Well, guys, it's been 46 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching the replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. And as always, it's 3D guys coming at you. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.